Child sex trafficking and child predatory behaviors comes from white supremacy, patriarchy, and the idea that men can own property. The white supremacy and patriarchy and child sexualization are not parallel lines. They're the same rope, braided together. The indigenous cultural societies. Now, during the Victoria era, we see a rise on the importance of morality in public, but in private, it was exploitation, and child prostitution was rampant. This is where we see sexual violence going underground, and politeness becomes the camouflage for the exploitation and abuse. The 20th century brings us stories of abuse in churches, schools, boarding homes. Abuse is now systemic. Whistleblowers and victims get silenced for the good of the institution. This is how the power learned to protect itself, not the children. Then 1990s to 2010 is the digital age, where internet becomes a place for grooming. Porn normalizes the barely legal fantasy. Now, predator meets algorithm and gains reach. Then the post-Obama era, we see a loud resurgence of white supremacy. The displacement and replacement theory and panic kicks in yet again, loudly and front center this time. That paranoia creates a hyperfixation on children. And suddenly it's moral panic about groomers everywhere. The projection is loud, because the same groups accusing others of child abuse are dismantling child protections from that abuse. That's not a coincidence. That's deflection. And now the expose of the elite trafficking rings, because there's a concentration of the extremely wealthy. Access to private islands, private jets, private courts. Legal systems favor financial donors. And of course, the victims get demonized and the whistleblowers criminalized or silenced. Now, for each of these steps through humanity, there have been common themes: hierarchy over humans, male entitlement being protected by power, children being treated as resources, and silence being enforced to preserve the system. So though white supremacy didn't create child exploitation, it optimized it, racialized it, globalized it, and armored it with wealth. And whenever that system feels threatened, it screams, "Save the children!" while positioning itself between those children and justice. And don't get me started on how this ties into red pill groyper culture, MAGA culture, white Christian supremacist culture, and closeted gay Republican culture. That's another video.